This is Rekla. With me is Albert. And for the moment, we have
Zola and a newcomer, Trevnon.
We have a Wemic warrior versus a human priest.
I haven't seen a Wemic warrior in a bar in a long time.
Since Ediseth, really. You remember him?
I mean, warrior. Wemic warriors used to be really good.
They used to be amazing, but the saves cannot be what they used to be. Not since Snoot basically got the class tones with Hobgoblin Warrior just saving. Back then you used to use like the massive steel axe and the dual axe. Just dual wield weapon stun people every round. But now
Snoot, such a good player. I miss that guy.
He was amazing. Now we have the new Wemic Warrior. We do not know much about him. He is from Arcane apparently. Again, Wemic Warriors used to be really good, but the saves had to have plummeted. So
he probably hits fairly well, but human priests aren't really that good in the arena either. So
yes. So we will see what happens here. It's really strange to see this match in this decade. It hasn't been warrior versus priest in a while. Like it used to be Go versus people like Snoot, but since then it's been quite a change. So we are just waiting. I would assume as a Wemic warrior, I mean, it's really your call, but a weapon stun could be worth using.
Yep.
They have to have strength in the 80s, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if the Wemic has skins or not, but it shouldn't make that much of a difference against a priest anyways.
That's true. Now, in an ideal scenario, what you do is carry a Misty Potion. I really doubt he has one, but you carry that and just quaff that before the Holy Flame can set on you, because 150 AC is quite substantial.
Well, I think he's probably Affinity, so it's 156, right? I've noticed that lands a lot more than the other ones.
It does.
In case you guys don't know, Holy Flame is always 1, 2, or 3 times your casting level. So if you get hit by that 156, that's massive.
It is very massive. I know there's a lot of math on it, like people arguing whether or not it's curved or not, but the basic idea was every 10 AC is 1%, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And I would appreciate it if anyone could chime in here and tell us if the stream is working correctly. It's always a little precarious with this connection.
We have 1 minute to go. It's so much better to cast with 2 people as opposed to by yourself.
That's true. I think 2 is the magic number. We were talking about this, but if it's 1 person, then there's a lot of space to fill, and if there's 3 people, it's consistently interrupted by the 2 other people. So 2 is the magic number for casting, in the traditional form of John Madden and Al Michaels. So we are 30 seconds until. Thanks for confirming the quality of the stream, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I've had various people tell me it works fine.
I just had Dan chime in, and if you do want to buy a t-shirt, contact him.
Or if you want to contact me, I can contact him, and you can buy a t-shirt from him. Some of our qualifications are ACFL past champion. And we're off. I just had to say that.
Yeah.
And he does make a fire elemental. He does use a pink wand.
That is something. That's low level.
Surprised by that.
No, that implies he knows what he's doing, at least to some extent.
He has a leech weapon, but it looks like he's single wielding.
He is single wielding. Dispel immediately. We were talking about the saves there. Zola should Firestorm. That's a good move. He does get the quaff offer out before the Firestorm.
Am I wrong? Is he not? Is he only?
He's using one. He's using one weapon. Yeah. Just the Grand Arcadian Polearm. And there's no reason to do that whatsoever as a warrior against a priest.
Maybe he didn't take dual wield.
Be a funny thing to see a guy zap himself before the Holy Flame comes out and not dual wield.
The saves issue is coming.
Yeah, he does have escapes. He does have escapes to cure the blonde. Which is, again, why I'm so perplexed that he's using all the right potions and the zap.
But he had 1 weapon on, and he was disarming. He should just be purely bashing, I think.
Yeah. No, you don't. You want to stun lock.
Yeah, Firestorm's not very efficient, actually. Like, I argue with people all the time whether to use Firestorm.
Well, it's a shorter duration than Blizzard, which is the problem. I mean, I know why he's using it to, the Wemic, but...
Did he even bless?
Plague. There's the Plague. I bet that he did bless. It's just that warrior base saves are so bad. I mean, that was an intentional...
So he's prepared for this, but he doesn't have dual wield available?
Apparently. He does dip into red there. It does look like Zola is going to... I mean, Zola is looking good so far.
Yep. Looks like I'm going to lose some money.
Oh, did you bet on the Kingdom or Warrior? What's wrong with you, Albert?
I don't know, man. Maybe Zola's.
Maybe.
It's all good, man. It's whatever.
It is. It's fun.
I mean, we gave away tons of eggs in trivia. Like hundreds of eggs.
That's true. We did. For no...
I don't know if you saw the green anti-Val venom.
Yeah, I did.
But that was found out to be anti-Viper bite.
Yeah, I used to carry them on my Wujin. Like, I would farm old Gareth, like 50 at a time.
Well, like, I knew about it, but for obvious reasons, I didn't tell people. So.
For obvious reasons, yeah. I had to use it once, if I recall correctly. Might have been Zixus. This does look...
One time on my Paladin, I got Viper Bite and got hit by 3 hitters, and it didn't get me past quite a few. Because Paladins take no damage.
Yeah, Paladins are great.
Yeah, it's so hard to die. That's why, like, on some level, the bounty point run on the Paladin wasn't so bad. Because, you couldn't die except in a keep.
It just takes Trevnon.
Couldn't kill anyone either.
Trevnon does lose his link. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much game. That's true. I mean, the only thing you really have is a Ray of Truth, and that's situational. Really, playing a Shadow Knight or Paladin bounty point run is just sort
Shadow
of...
Knight's way easier, though. You can cause fat, at least.
It's easier, but it's also the same strategy, which is that you just kind of... You don't die, and then bounty points accumulate. Your goal is not to die, and then cause fat steal as much as you can, or Ray of Truth.
Zola is still in white here. I mean, there's no way to tell if he blessed or not without looking at him in the stands, I guess.
Well, there isn't, but Warriors still get Benediction, right? Or did they take it away?
Pretty sure they have it. Even if they didn't, they could still wand bless.
Yeah, you can, so...
I'm still confused by the single wield.
If you can zap... If you have time to one bless as an armsman, you have time to do it as a warrior, but I think they have Benediction. My accent is West Virginian, and I've lived in Nashville for 10 years. We are just waiting for the end here. I think it's safe to say. There's no way he comes back from this.
No, this is not winnable. For sure. Maybe he doesn't know he's single wielding. I don't see how you couldn't, though, how much you hit. Maybe they didn't take dual wield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good that new people are going to the arena now.
It is, and that's something that Shrek encouraged, so... Again, I don't think we've been inflammatory here. It's just we're calling out it. I mean,
I've never seen so many firestorms in my life.
This is the first time in a while I've seen somebody be prepped. Like, he strikes me as a player who might be newish, and then he has the right preparation. Like, he carried Potions of Escape, he zapped himself prior to Holy Flame, and then he doesn't have dual wield, which is a big deal. He does get dispelled there, no sank. He has not moved yet or resanked. The blind got cured as well, but it looks like he is not... Okay, there's the Quaff.
Zola just expending all his mana on Firestorm.
Mm-hmm. Which, again, is just trying to tap into that vuln.
Okay, well, there's a problem right there. Do you see how much not saves he had on?
Yes.
That's a problem right there.
Well, it's too late. I mean, I think the
But
blind got cured, so he
that
didn't...
might be one of the problems.
Yeah, but the blind got cured, so he didn't have time to remove the Monogear, and probably there was some panic to some extent.
Oh, now he dual wields. See? It's very noticeable, the difference now.
Okay. Dispelled there. Oh, that flame. Zola is playing well here, I do want to say. I mean, arming the elemental. The Firestorm is debatable, but he's using it to tap into the Vuln, so you can go, eh.
Yeah, if you have enough mana, why not?
Yeah.
Oridan didn't realize he was single wielding. Get better, scrub. Just saying. But yeah, He had like half the preparation, right? He just didn't put it all together, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Well, he had all of the preparation now that we're seeing Dual Wield come out. That's a Vampy and...
besides the saves issues.
Yes.
If you're noticeably spellbait, you should never wear like Sand Sharks or Quest.
You just load up on saves. I mean, Monogear is
as
not...
possible.
You don't use Monogear as a hitter against a caster. That's kind of a rule of thumb.
Zola dips in the yellow.
See, I mean, seeing these rounds go off, it kind of means that if he had the escapes, he zapped correctly, he would have won. He could have won this fight. But...
Yeah. I mean, it's just something you learn for next time.
Yeah.
You're not going to win every fight. Unless you're Tauren.
Tauren today even would probably get wrecked. I mean... The cancellation gourds came out, and I mean, it wouldn't make any difference in today's meta.
You guys don't realize how. I mean, if you had the recipes back then, human warlocks were way more overpowered.
That's true. A hobgoblin warlock today with the old recipes and the old charmies would probably wreck. Yeah.
Yeah. Double slows. Like.
Imagine an aerial warlock with all that shit. I mean.
Well, the point of the hobgoblin was you could just keep flying while you set up.
Yeah, the spit is huge. Spit is huge.
See all this mana gear that.
Yeah.
You know,
The thing is, the mistake that he made was wearing Monogear that doesn't additionally have saves on them. Because, like, Unholy Robes, for example, stuff like that.
So you would just basically use Moon Amulets, Wedding Bands.
Correct. And I wouldn't use anything more than that. And even then, it's questionable of whether or not you want to have the mana, whether it'd make that much difference. Generally...
Okay, Zola dips in the red, so he's going to come back here. You think that the leech weapons are adding up? All that wasted mana?
Probably, because Zola had used Firestorm pretty much on the regular, and then he was being leeched.
That's like, what, 60 mana?
Mm-hmm.
90? I don't remember. But
he's using Kick, too, which means he might be running He does still... I mean, Enhanced Recovery should have mitigated that to a large extent.
So it's fair to say, if Trevnon did this from the beginning, he would have won already.
He would have won.
There's a lot of rescues that Zola has not been using along his Elemental.
There's the Demon Fire.
The Berserk.
Elemental is rescuing off that charge. That's mischarge.
The Elemental is dead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he has enough mana.
Let's see if he does, because if not, he could be in some trouble here.
I did bet on the Wemic, so I might still win.
Oh, and he's being charge locked in the southern room, so we will see how this ends. That is a lot of damage. Again, just imagine if this had been the case at the beginning.
Trevnon has not wimpied yet, so that's fairly good.
Mm-hmm.
This is a crazy comeback. I guess casters are wrong sometimes.
So almost of this is if two people were in an apartment and one guy was playing and the other guy said, "Move over, let me show you how it's done." Which is what we did. I mean, when I was playing DSL in the late 90s, I played it with my...
Be off that melee hit.
When I was playing DSL in the late 90s, I played it with my cousin, and we just kind of took turns on our characters.
Dispel him, or did he...
That looked like a... Oh, that is a lot of damage. That eradicates us. That counts. Still no Wimpy, though.
Well, Zola did Wimpy.
No, I mean on Trevnon's part.
Okay. No. You guys
still
have
poisoned.
to understand, you don't want to... Oh,
blinded, and off that mischarge, Zola can flee here.
You don't want to be in a one exit room.
Yeah. Oh, he has no escapes. If he's quaffing stonings...
And Warriors lost Kiid a long time ago, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, they did. They don't have it.
Zola Wimpy'd again.
Even if he did, he has to be human by now.
If I'm correct, Zola's prayer should be down soon, right? So he won't be able to Holy Flame.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, well, I guess if Trevnon's blind the whole time.
Well, Trevnon... I mean, if Trevnon is out of Quakes and he's canceling, if he's out of Quakes and he's out of escapes, he is in so much trouble. Zola can just wait. That kind of damage is going to do it. He's ranging too, so Trevnon has no way of doing anything. Trevnon is trying to get the blind off. It's not working. He's just taking more damage because there's the Wimpy. Okay, it looks like Zola has Has come back again.
Unless he magically runs out of prayer next tick.
Well, even so, he can just sit around for the rest of the time.
Zola must be healing because he's not ranging.
Trevnon, we can't see if there's a cancellation or not. I would
I know
imagine.
you guys can't see it right now, but this is why, as a caster, you have to manage your mana. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Zola actually wimpies off that melee hit.
Zola is still wimping, but again, Trevnon can't get to him if he doesn't come to him explicitly. There's the Demon Fire.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because then he's just gonna eat charges.
To be honest, if I were Zola, I would just sleep and save up for Holy Flame if he still has prayer.
We don't know if he has prayer.
No, but he was doing it up until recently. Trevnon is stuck between a rock and a hard place, though. And you can see that he doesn't really know what to do. He's scanning, but he can't see. I mean,
why did he Holy Flame in the same room? I don't. Zola is actually losing because of.
Well, Zola won't lose as long as he doesn't hit Trevnon. There's zero reason to do that. There is zero reason to go and hit him.
Well, okay, we say that, but it doesn't mean they realize it. And
thanks,
we said
Captain
prayer
Obvious.
is going to be done soon, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I could scroll up and look. It's what, 23 ticks or something.
Yes.
But I'm too lazy to figure that out. So Trevnon must not have had a lot of escapes. Because he only used a few, right?
Correct. He did not use that many. He didn't use that many quakes either.
So why is he fighting him in the same room? Zola's still wimpy, and Trevnon isn't. Unless he turned off wimpy.
Hopefully Zola is... Oh, the
yeah,
blind is
the
gone,
blind.
but so is the Sank. Mischarge, that's going to be a lot of damage. Oh, he has no mana.
Kicking. Zola's still wimpy.
And Trevnon is not blind, and he gets the
wow,
Optos.
Zola still wins somehow.
He gets the Optos barely.
I think he took wimpy off.
Well, that was...
those players had any business winning that match.
That was a great match, though. I mean,
That
it's...
was crazy.
You know, if you have two inexperienced players or they're playing inexperienced, then it can sometimes make for a more entertaining match than otherwise. It's kind of like the rule of sameness. If you got two inexperienced people, it can go either way. If you have two experienced people, it can go either way. But otherwise, it doesn't really work.
So all Trevnon had to do was dual wheels in the beginning. He would have won.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Lesson for next
Even with the blondes.
How many people lost money on that match?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people look at a new player, or at least he seems to, and they question whether or not they should bet on this person.
But definitely a good match.
It was. Although, to be fair, again, you know, if you pitted a warrior back against a priest in 2000, it would have been a destroy toast every single time.
Trevnon is blessed, but he's in fine alloy gear.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a thing.
He does have one dragon skin that's not enchanted.
Nice. You creeping? Are you a voyeur right now, Albert? We will wait to see the next fight.
I mean, yeah, you can't have saves gator on fine alloy if you want the damage.
That's true. Well, it looks as though he was prepped in some ways and unprepped in others. If he's wearing fine alloy, but he's carrying escapes, he's carrying the wand. I remember this one match between Snoot and Fush, like F.
Yeah, the illusionist.
And Fush basically full maledicted Snoot, and he didn't even wear weaken. He didn't even wear diamond bracelets off that, and he just weapon stunned Fush until he died. It's like it was still a close match because at about midway through the match, Snoot was fully maledicted, and he didn't wear any strength gear, and he just kept weapon stunning him until he died, killed all the images, and that was it.
Well, Snoot is one of the best players DSL has ever put out, so.
He is. He's been gone for a very long time.
If you know who he is, I assume you do. So
I do.
Would you agree he was one of the best players?
I mean, I was playing late 90s, and Snoot was already at the top of his game. And
yeah, do you remember like Hobgoblin Warriors and Goblin Barbarians? Like Chiron was so good.
Well, Spit was no fail, and it was like
And
One
Charge
round,
was
no
really
fill.
good back then.
Yes.
We have Oridan and Musen.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so Transmuter versus Necro. That'll be interesting. Obviously, Musen will go for Disjunction. It's a matter of if it's effective versus Oridan.
Oridan has more spell damage, if I'm correct.
And he's also a very smart mage, so he's going to know that the DJs are coming. This will be interesting. Neither character is going to have that much health. Oridan does have withstands, so he has a little bit of room to wiggle around.
If he withstands and Musen self-change, will that kill Oridan?
I don't think so. I don't think... If Musen were to time it directly off the withstand...
Okay, I think if Musen had chained lightning scrolls and resighted and chained without Oridan...
Then he could just kill him off the proc? Yeah. There is a little bit of lag off withstand. It's not you just wake up from death and then you can immediately flee into the other room. It's a good round of lag or so. So if Musen can capitalize on that...
I think Oridan's a little smarter player than Musen, so he might walk into a lot of chains.
Oridan has played excellently so far the past few fights. I mean, I would not actually bet on this match. I do think it'll be interesting because in theory, Transmuter is supposed to kind of beat the other mage tops, but a lot of the time that doesn't happen, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks like some good matches tonight.
Yeah,
I guess anytime Scoring wants to run AGL, then good matches happen.
I'm locking the pick so far, I'll say that. We do have about 90 players on, which is pretty good for off-season competitive events.
Some aerial druid is talking shit to Oridan.
Oh, that guy. His name is a prayer, so can't give him any credit.
You have some ugly gear, sir. 8 teal potions?
That was...
What is this?
That was back when you could buy them.
I was like, why do you have 8 teal potions?
I think it was from my bounty point run forever ago, like in 2009
I feel like
or
everyone has amulets of the Colossus except me.
It's because you're a little bitch.
What?
You heard me.
You just call me a bitch, sir?
I did, Albert.
Oh, man.
We have to have some repartee in between these long minutes. Okay, we are just waiting on the opening scene.
I like how Alan is like me, though. Only carrying one robe of many pockets, as it should be.
Yeah, I'm not that specific anymore. I mean, I'm even probably lazier than I used to be by quite a lot. Has Zoro hit 4K bounty points yet?
He's right about there.
He's right about there. I'm curious to know what his... Well, he's always done that, hasn't he? Even mid-2000s, he was always trying to, like, accumulate more than usual, but I never saw the utility in it, because it's funner to have, like, multiple skills.
Yeah.
He'll play the same character. I think he's even just played nothing but clericals. Clericals, yeah. I know you...
No, he played that illusionist for a long time.
Yeah, but he just accumulates bounty points. It's just his thing.
I mean, my Bakali had like 4,000 when he died.
It was like 3.
I had 4 or 3,500, and I just bought a bunch of weapons and gave them.
Yeah, I remember. You should have given them to me.
What? Why?
Why not? We're friends.
You know what's hard? If you give a bunch of bounty weapons and then you can't find an enchanter to enchant them in the clan system.
That's true. Enchanters really are hard to come by these days, unless you have a friend who like hop on or something.
But it's really hard in Chaos. It's like, hey, all gonna enchant for me? No.
Will you help me out? You stand against all gods, so I don't know.
Did I bet? I don't remember.
You could probably find somebody in Chaos, like in New Thalos for Chaos, right? Because they're kind of
merchants. You have to be a clan enchanter to touch bounty point weapons.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Zappity zap.
Yes.
We are 15 seconds until we go. We will see how this battle between mages go. It's just like the battle between Raceland and Fist and Dantalus, if you know your Dragonlance trivia.
You just said that.
Well,
and we're
I'm
off.
going to sell it.
Oridan always prepared with good corpses.
He does. He does his prep. Does he even play? Oh, there's the first chain.
There, he walked into the chain.
Good damage. The elf is resisting quite a bit.
See, Oridan's spell damage is better than Musen's.
Yeah, that's true. Oridan, I mean, the chains are going to do less just because both have such high saves.
Fireball range war, Oridan's going to come out on top.
He is because he got the first chain. He got the opener.
And he has withstand too, as well.
Well, let's see. Let's look at these. Musen isn't even fireballing. This is bad.
Yeah.
Oridan is just fireballing repeatedly and nothing from Musen. What's happening here?
Musen made a raider.
He does move across. It's the chain. There's another chain. Musen is going to die here. He's going to die. Oridan has a withstand unless Musen really does something here. That is a free chain. Oridan did just flee off that. So they're kind of even kill currently. They both got a chain in. They both did some fireballs. Oridan had slightly more.
Oridan has plenty of switching out.
Oh, that's the red. That's going to be it. Musen is in red, and Oridan still has withstand to go. And that's some massacre chains in there. Musen should die shortly, I think. Sea Elf cannot hold up to that.
Agreed. Musen summons a Grand Mistress.
Yeah, Musen is trying to force
the Raider
the
actually
issue.
stuns Oridan.
Oridan isn't... He's probably trying to fireball, right? That stun kept him from it. I mean, why wouldn't... There he goes.
His flowing just evaporated.
He's upset. His great piece of gear gone. What an idiot.
What an idiot.
I don't actually mean it, folks. Okay, that is the next chain. He just chained himself. Musen's done. He's got like a chain to go.
They're just ranging each other.
Yeah, but Musen is dead within a couple of rounds. That's it.
Yeah. Oridan had to get all his corpses from the evaporated corpses.
Well fought by Oridan. I'm curious to know what Musen was doing there. I mean, he didn't return the fireballs for a while. He did get even with that one chain, but Oridan was already ahead. He already has the withstand. He's in good shape from that point on. It's so interesting because mages, it's almost like who gets the opening couple of rounds, and then if you don't drop your lead, then you're good to go for the rest of the match. Just a reminder, folks, that I will be gone from December 17th to December 25th. I am visiting my family in West Virginia. So
I will cast as much as possible.
Yes, in the interim...
Some guest casters, maybe?
That sounds good. I will listen to them from West Virginia if you guys do that. I'll have to ask Phil sometime.
Thank you for the money, Oridan.
I'll have to ask Phil sometime if we can get you hooked up to DSL streaming.
That's like I could just use that one. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Because that side has the most followers. It would be better to streamline all that, but we'll see.
No, I agree. It's doing the service for the community.
Sure. Let's see what the third match is.
I don't know if this is the last match. Or not.
I don't know, but it's been fun. It's been fun. I think 4 is actually the perfect number.
Unless you're having a big, like, title card or something.
True, yeah. Unless you're having a long fight. These two fights have gone by fairly quickly. Just something to calibrate according to the player pace and how fast the fights go. We have 2 more coming up.
Two more matches.
So we do have 4 in total. Good job, Del Nichis.
I'm glad that you're casting, because then I can look at all my aliases and people won't be like, what the heck is this?
I don't even care. I'll show you my gear. Wearing...
No, I meant my Z-Mud aliases. And no one wants to see me use... What version of Z-Mud do I have? 7.21. I'm like, everyone uses Z-Mud now. Like, you probably use Z-Mud, right?
I use Z-Mud, bro.
No, okay.
I'm old school.
7.31 or 4.62.
I use 7.21 and then I upload all the old colors from 3. Like I have the old school. I mean, you can see on the streams. It's like Zmud 4.62.
All right, so we have Darxal and a Swash. This is Kiid, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
We have not seen Kiid in a great deal of time.
So we have a Bugbear Barbarian versus a human Swashbuckler.
If you recall, this Bugbear Barbarian fought an Orc Pirate, and the Orc Pirate didn't win by that much. And a Swashbuckler probably has a little less damage, right? So it could be
true.
Close.
And again,
but the Pirate did not have vamp weapons. So.
Yeah, I still don't know that a Bugbear Barbarian should lose to a Pirate. It seems like Barbarians usually just beat the tar out of other hitters, but we'll see how this goes. Kiid is a very experienced, very good Swashbuckler. If you don't know,
ACFL champion.
Yeah, if you don't know about Kiid, he did contribute to 3, or was it 2? It was 2 or 3 championships on the part of Stars. I think he came a season or 2 after the first.
Okay, so 2, 3, and 4 maybe. And
it's not really important, but he was a staple of the Stars.
He knows what he's doing. We'll just say that.
He was a staple of the Stars dynasty for a very long time. In fact, there was a lot of question whether Stars would be able to perform after Kiid and Azula left them, because they were 2 of the 4 main lineup.
Agreed. And that's a discussion for a different time. But they just never had the 4th player.
We have 4 minutes, Albert. We're okay to cast like baseball for a little bit.
All right, that's cool.
But we do have Darxal as well. He's relatively new. He did lose to an Orc Pirate recently. The Orc Pirate played well. There was the dropkick situation.
Well, let's
obviously.
Be fair. All he had to do was dropkick.
That's true. That's true. There was a question of whether or not Darxal would be able to come back after the power swing, because that's really when Barbarians shine, when they get hurt.
I think he started the power swing too late, maybe.
I think so too. But we'll see what happens.
The other
issue
match I saw in that match was he was trying the power swing a lot when he was stunned from dropkick still.
Yes. And he's facing a similar situation here, where he's facing one of the best Swashbucklers in the game, and dropkick was an issue for him last match, even though Barbarians are traditionally very good against hitters. So we'll see what happens.
Swashes hit better, but they don't have the double parry damage that adds up from the Pirate. So
that's true.
That's enough.
And double parry is pretty huge, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens. I think Kiid tries to play a perfect game. If he has to, if he's hurt, he'll try to blind Darxal and summon some stuff to vamp you off it.
Yeah, in case you guys don't know, Swashes have like a special init thingy.
Just so vamp you off.
Yeah, he can knit off someone and then knit off a Charmy, and then it'll reset, pretty much. So Darxal needs to try to keep him blind.
We are 2 minutes until. How does one watch ominously, Zola? Are you just like, do you have narrowed eyes and you have a cowl over your head and you're just staring?
Don't question good role players.
Okay. Is it like the emo kid that Bodrum used to have as his form avatar?
Oh my god. That one.
Everybody gave him trouble for that. It was hilarious. He was like, what? We're just waiting another minute or so. If you cast your eyes upon my look, you'll see King Priest Grump. For all you role players who want to get into it. Also see Jazrin Maltese, who is a shadow trader. Or an ambassador to the dungeon, I don't remember, but...
So there's one more fight after this. I'm curious who it might... He has to be someone with a lot of fights, right? Because they usually put that for last.
Let me look. Ferg is on, and as well, let's look at the contender list here. Alleluia is 4-1, so that looks likely to me.
No, that's not accurate. The in-game one isn't.
What is the correct score, do you know? Just real quick.
Alleluia, I believe, is 7-3.
7-3. That's looking very much like a maybe not a title fight, but certainly a contender fight. We'll see what happens on the 4th.
Yeah, the in-game contender list isn't accurate, guys. If you want to look at it, you look at the one on the website.
15 seconds until. We are about to see what happens here.
I mean, Zoltas is on, but I don't think he has enough fights to be on the last fights. You know?
I don't think it's a coincidence that 2 contenders are on, but we'll see.
And we're off. So, Kiid is not sneaking.
You're right, he's not. He does get the freezing bot there. Darxal goes for the blind immediately. Both players hitting pretty well. Kiid is getting more rounds off than Darxal, though, by quite a bit. There's the Bugbear bot that takes away strength Dex.
Yes,
he immediately switches. No blonde, so...
There's a disarm.
Yeah. Kiid doing very well so far in terms of hitting, in terms of... He immediately put the diamond bracelets on.
Okay, he switches the train off. But he's not on the shield, is he?
He's got... I did not see. It's hard to tell with Swashbucklers. He's hitting too much for a shield, I think. Yeah, he's not in a shield.
I think he's single wielding with no shield.
Oh, really?
Because yeah.
Wait, are you talking about the Bugbear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about Darxal.
Yeah, I was talking about.
He's hitting way too much and not being a shield.
That is another disarm. So far, Darxal taking quite a bit of damage. And dropkick immediately takes him to red. He's a barbarian. He's not going to come back from this. There's no way.
And he doesn't even have a weapon on him.
Oh my gosh, those rounds. This is going to be...
Yeah, see, this is the problem. Like, if Kiid dirts you, you need to dirt back or keep him blind so he can't chase you with dropkick.
Well, there are a couple of mistakes. First of all, you don't Bugbear bot until you get dirt kick because you don't want them to put diamond bracelets on. There's the potential he puts them on anyway, but you saw he didn't.
You also don't want to be single wielding with no shield.
When you're hurt, you get away from that drop kick lag if you can, and then you start power swinging.
Darxal wasn't win. Well, maybe that wasn't a beat. It was a flea though.
Yeah, and it does
Kiid
just
is
look
still white.
Yeah, there's no problem for Kiid. Kiid does win this match. There's no way that he comes back from this.
Kiid's just too smart a player.
But I mean, that was just an attack, and then Darxal never recovered. I mean, it was just.
It's hard to recover.
Yeah, well, then that's the incap. That's a destroy toast.
Yes.
Wow.
Not even close.
Yeah, that was basically hit him. It was like blind, disarm, and then just drop kick to oblivion. Darxal had no chance. That's crazy.
Well done, Kiid. He still has it.
He does. I think Darxal is a little green, though, just from the past two fights.
I know, he's still learning. It sort of sucks that he had to go against two drop kickers.
That's true. And you know what's funny?
He tries to pick up the Sword of the Gods and fails.
The funny thing is, Bugbear Barbarian is better in every other scenario, but if it's an Ogre Barbarian, you just might beat a Swashbuckler. That's what's ironic about it. Just because no dropkick, then... I saw a fight between Brandon, Human Swashbuckler, and Shadow, and he fought Vorsuck or something. It was Ogre Crusader. Ogre Crusader just dismantled him. Because
he couldn't hit him.
No dropkick as well, and that's just a whole different game.
It's just like if a Swash or a Pirate has to fight like a Troll Barbarian.
Yeah, it's just like, kill me now, please.
Like, you can't do anything. As long as he's flying, you can't do anything. I don't know who's on unless some hidden invoker is on, but I imagine this might be Ferg and Alleluia for the last fight.
That's what I'm thinking. Just because Ferg doesn't usually stay on this long, unless he's got something going. That said, he hasn't scopped me with anything annoying for the past hour, so we'll see.
Could be Boof, I guess.
What's Boof's
record? I don't know, earlier Ferg was like mumbling, "Let me in there," so I don't know if he got in or not.
Yeah, if he's been quiet, then that might mean even more so he's in, because he's prepping.
Could be Ariana, so we have two aerials against each other.
Said two faded. I still don't believe you, Brandon.
But in a double aerial fight, there's no way the priest would ever beat a druid, because two charmers versus one.
That's true. Not possible.
There's no such thing Ferg as two faded for you.
I thought you stacked your 5,000 health so you could be faded during AGL, Brandon.
Yeah, how much did that help you in the Sea Wars finals? Sorry, I just had to say it. That was my fault. I beat Austin.
So the implication is that he is in if you said he's not prepping.
Yeah.
Okay, we will see what happens here. Kiid did play a perfect game.
Agreed. You know what I'd like to see one day? Just like kingdom leaders go at an AGL. Like Markhouse and Grump or something.
I'd like to see that too. It could be entertaining.
The winner has to buy t-shirts for the other kingdom.
But we should have Fuel cast it so he says, Medio.
Wouldn't that be cool? Hey, you lost, so you have to buy t-shirts saying my kingdom and take a picture in it.
That would be cool. I think that should be a grudge match for Con. We should set them at 2 computers and just have them go at it while we drink.
You know, he would just make me play his character, right?
Not at Con. He wouldn't be able to.
Why not?
Because you'd be audited.
I'd be audited. Be like, nope, he's not playing.
If you do something illegal in Trump's America, Albert, you get deported. Even if you were born in the U.S., you're Asian. So.
Did they do payouts? I don't know.
We are just waiting for the final match here.
I don't think they did payouts. Oh. Just curious to see who we all have in this match.
I'm still guessing Ferg and Alleluia, but we will see.
How about Rekla and Alleluia? Isn't that an auto win for the aerial druid?
I don't think so. But we'll see.
It's rough. It's rough though.
Yeah.
Double trophies.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't played in AGL in quite a bit. I left right after winning the Altanian Championship.
That must have been like 1998.
It was a long time ago. I was probably.
You know who I saw on the other day? Dalatar, because we were talking about him.
I wonder if he came on just because he was mentioned.
In case you guys didn't play back there, Dalatar, before Offhand or any of the singer boosts, was really good.
I think he was hands down the best blade singer in the game, probably, to be honest with you.
No, he was a very good player.
I mean, we had Rain too, but I think Dalatar played better.
By any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, there were some good players back then.
Agreed.
I feel like Rain, his player, had a penchant for finding new race classes that were overpowered, but I don't feel like he mastered them per se. Like Dalatar was a better pound for pound blade singer player, but Rain's player would find all these amazing combos and just wreck in the AGL with them.
Or you get things nerfed I shouldn't talk about.
Yes.
Okay. Alan knows exactly what I am talking about. Maybe.
I do, I think. We are waiting. The anticipation is growing here.
I think they're waiting for the bets to be paid out.
Probably. I think they have to do that, right?
Isn't it automated, or did M have to actually do a command?
I don't think it's automated. I think that you have to press something because it's varied. People will say
pay out bets or something.
Probably. It's probably automated in the code to an extent, but it requires a manual press. We do still have 90 people on. Everyone's waiting with bated breath.
By the way, I'm being late to raid to run this AGL cast, just to let you guys know.
There are no games other than DSL, Albert. What's wrong with you?
What are you talking about, man? I fucking play Star Wars.
You play Star Wars.
Speaking of Star Wars, are you gonna watch that movie?
I'm going to watch it with caution. I don't get caught up in the hype anymore. I haven't even watched the trailers.
Did you watch the last? You watched the last one.
Yeah. No, I did not. No, I didn't. I'm a little wary of the... I know Star Wars was always a big thing. Like, even the mid-90s when I was younger, there was the special edition bits, but I'm a little wary.
Like you're trolling me, man.
I haven't watched the latest trailer, I swear to you.
No, the last movie.
Oh, I watched the last movie, yeah.
Yeah, I asked you if you saw it. You're like, no, I didn't watch it. So I'm like, I don't believe you, man.
Oh, yeah, I watched the last movie. I enjoyed it.
There's no reason not... Yeah.
I mean, I understand people's complaints that it was kind of just an updated version of A New Hope, but I really was okay with that. Because I think what he's doing is he's grounding the trilogy in the old, and then he's going to make some experiments in the next two.
That's our scent.
Yeah.
And it's Alleluia and Zolthus. That's very interesting.
Okay, there is no Brandon. Apparently he told the truth for once. So we will see what happens between this Dwarf Scald. It rarely
happens, but, you know.
Yeah, so we have a Dwarf Scald and we have an Aerial Druid. And Zolthus does not have Irake, right? He's pretty fresh as a player?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, we will see what happens here.
Ferg wants to fight Rekla.
I used to think that if I get a fast and a blind on Ferg, he's done for the rest of the game. Doesn't matter how much health he has. But I used to think that aerial druids in general were really good, but I mean with the armsmen like stun locking them and stuff, it feels like the game has changed. The meta has changed.
It definitely has.
And I guess that's because of the damage output that every player has these days. Like, it didn't used to be that 4 or even 5 years ago. Now it's everybody has all this damn roll gear and they're just hitting like trucks. And if they stun lock you, then it doesn't matter how much mana you have. But we will see what happens. Skald and Druid are both very diverse classes. Now, as a Druid, you're not going... I mean, you can go for a blind on a Skald, but he's going to have escapes, and it's not going to take that long for him to cure them. So it's really a matter of... I mean, I'm sure that Zolthus is prepped up. If he is, then the Skald isn't going to be blind.
When Alleluia fought as Harry, I was just stunned the whole match, so I couldn't set up at all.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with an aerial. Correct.
So the stun lock is a big deal, and the damage output is a big deal. Dwarf Scalds are super boosted, correct?
I believe he will actually hit harder than those Harry.
I do think Hill Dwarf Scalds are super boosted, if I'm not mistaken.
They are.
So he's going to hit really hard. We're just waiting at the 3-minute mark. Each player is going to be prepping. This is one of those cases where you do want to put some blesses on, just because you're facing that imbued aerial caster.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this aerial never imbues. You should just ask Arabelle.
Okay. This is the 4th and final match of the knot, folks. We are 2 minutes until.
Oh, is it at 2 minutes already?
Mm-hmm. It is at 2 minutes. Although the Druid should be prepped before the Skald is.
I don't know about that.
Now, if Zolthus... I mean, I don't know if the player contributes to the donation pool, but Irake is so good to have on a Skald. So good.
No, agreed.
I really want to get my aerial jungler up and going again, because he has Rake at level 1, and I always wanted to use Rake and Dirt Kick on 2 different people, just to see them go, what?
Agreed.
No lag, double blind. We are waiting. 1 minute should be coming up here shortly. There is the 1 minute mark. This is one of the harder matches for both players. Both players are experienced as far as I know. So this will be exciting. I'm sure that there's a little tingling going on, at least some fingertips.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And there's the 30-second marker, folks. We were close.
Oh. This aerial Druid should probably imbue. That's a thing.
Zolthus is carrying escapes, so he is going to be prepped in that regard.
Let's see how many stuns the aerial Druid eats to the face. A lot,
Zolthus
right?
is carrying a Misty Potion, so he will be able to fairy fire.
How do you know all these things?
I'm omniscient. He does not quaff anything, though. We are just seeing the damage output from the Skald. So far, the Skald is out hitting, as it should be. Hallelujah playing at the center of the Coliseum, which is what you want to do as a caster. You don't want to get stun locked in one room or you're in a lot of trouble. I would assume Hallelujah is going for a blonde currently.
I don't see any blinds landing.
I don't see it either. So the Hill Dwarf Skald, oh, there's a weapon stun as well right off the top of a roundhouse. Hallelujah does drop into yellow there. Hallelujah probably trying to flee. There's the flee. Zolthus chasing quickly. There is the second weapon stun. This is what we were talking about, where, to be honest, I think potions of escape should probably be banned from the AGL, because it should require at least whale oil farming, because hitters...
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Hitters are just destroying casters, and let's say it takes the caster half the fight to land a blind. That's great, but then it's just a few quaffs and the hitter is back on the caster again. Should take some preparation. There is the air elemental. It thankfully does not rebel on Alleluia. We will see if anything can come out of this. There is the rescue. If Zolthus does not have Rake, at the very least this will mitigate some damage. There is a failed roundhouse. I assume Screech will start coming out. And or Blind, if Alleluia thinks it's worth it.
Oh, and Alleluia fails concentration on Call Wild Bear.
How do you know that? I can't see that from here.
I hacked the game.
There's the roundhouse in the Western Coliseum room. A rescue, just because you're not more than likely not going to flee out of that. Zolthus is going to kill that air elemental shortly, and then Alleluia will be vulnerable again to the full extent of the dwarf melee. I should say Scald melee, because between those two, one is definitely better than the other. The wild bear does come out. Should be a rescue shortly. Alleluia does dip into red there. Still stun locked from the roundhouse, likely. Well, the roundhouse did not land, but it's still hard to flee out of one exit room. There's the Northern Coliseum. Zolthus trying for roundhouse again. These stuns, thankfully for Alleluia, are not landing yet. Alleluia does dip into red right off that flea. Roundhouse does land right at the center, but it is the center, so Alleluia can maybe flee in a second. There we go.
So this is the problem. Skull's just stun everything.
Well, it looks as though the Hilldwarf Scald is saving against everything, stunning fairly reliably, and then has potions of escape if that falls through. So, very difficult for a druid in the current meta. Interesting because, say, Brivens versus Marilith, that used to be off-toast. It used to be very, very competitive as a fight, but now it wouldn't be. Alleluia is hit in the eastern room, does flee off the one exit because roundhouse thankfully does not land. Does look like Zolthus has a definitive advantage currently. Roundhouse in the center. Alleluia is playing at the center, which, if you don't know, folks, it's 5 exits. Easier to flee from a stun than being in a 1 exit room, which is incredibly hard to flee from. We're seeing the Monitor switch out weapon stun from that Saber. Not looking good at all for the aerial. Northern Coliseum wall, that is a roundhouse lock. Alleluia does get out without much damage taken. With that,
so many lost concentrations.
With that said, Alleluia is in a lot of trouble here. It's looking like a destroy toast at this point. Weapon stun, roundhouse stun, 1 exit, locked. There is the flee. Roundhouse at the center, a weapon stun at the center, but still, there's the wild bear rescue. Can still flee relatively well at the center room. Problem is, the smart hitters know where you're going. I did not sacrifice the dildo. It's in a vault in my province. The roundhouse stun does come at the Eastern Coliseum wall. It would take a miracle, and miracles don't come around when hitters have potions of escape. There's no way for Alleluia to win this at this point. Roundhouse in the northern, that is a stun lock. Let's see if Alleluia can get out. There's the flea. Zolthus, oh, there's the roundhouse. If I were Zolthus at this point, I would... Oh, there's the blind. Finally, Potions of Escape will come off this. Zolthus almost... in fact, I know he does. I located them, so he will start quaffing. There is the insta-cure. That is a problem for Alleluia. Air Elemental is up, but it's too late. And again, Potions of Escape probably...
It went against...
Oh, I see. Potions of Escape really need to be outlawed. And probably, to be honest... high cure blind potions maybe should be in the game just because a hitter is equally
screwed.
They
need to be hard to get.
They need to be very difficult to attain. You should have to put in the prep to play this effective a game against a druid. We are seeing the Northern Colosseum wall here. Alleluia does flee out that. No stuns. There's the roundhouse. That looks like a wimpy to me. There's the Southern Colosseum. Alleluia does look to be playing in the center, but that's the wimpy again. This looks to be it, folks. That one blind, that took 3/4 of the way through the match, and it was insta-cured. One quaff. There's the second blind. There is the first escape. Second escape does not go through. Third escape does not go through. We will see how many escapes Zolthus has carried. He does cancel there, which implies either he wants to keep momentum or he's out of escapes. He still has 2 escapes. I think he just wanted to cancel to get momentum going immediately again. He knew that he has every advantage currently. He doesn't want to give the druid too much time. Roundhouse does land in the eastern room there. The Elemental and Bear are up, but Alleluia is still taking a lot of damage. It just seems as though it's too late for the Bear and Elemental to whittle Zolthus down. There's no way at this point they can do that much damage to hurt him. Not to mention he's probably used almost none of his mana to heal. That is a failed bash. Both Elemental and Bear trying to disarm. Does not work. Does not work again. Zolthus just sitting away on Alleluia. Alleluia is not in Wimpy again, so it does look like she healed up to an extent. Is it a she? Is this a Meryl situation? It is a she. Zolthus still just doing massive damage through these failed disarms. Zolthus does finally get bashed by the Bear. Zolthus does dip into yellow, though. But I would surmise that he has mana to heal up. And he's still keeping up with momentum, because why stop at this point? Southern Colosseum wall. Alleluia does get Wimpy triggered there again. Zolthus falling off that immediately. Center of the Colosseum, so easy flee. Roundhouse in Eastern. That could be bad if this next round is. Nope, does not take that much damage from it. Does get roundhoused again, but Zolthus' damage is on the Elemental because of the rescue. Zolthus is just roundhousing anyway because of why not. He does flee off that. Comes back to hit Alleluia immediately. I assume a rescue is coming up. No rescue. The tick does hit, or is anybody sync dropping? Nope, but Wimpy does trigger there again. Roundhouse in the center should be a relatively easy flee. But that looked like a Wimpy again, so it does look like Alleluia is completely on the ropes here. It would take a miracle for Alleluia to win this. In fact, I don't even think it's possible at this point. There is the Cure Blind, not a Cure Blind, but a cancel. Alleluia does Screech directly off that. That is a good move. Zolthus, oh, there is the sync. Mana sinks. I don't know about that. Not to be elitist, but Scald healing is already not that intensive. You want to save as much as that as possible. Screech is doing a lot of damage, and Zolthus is dipped into red. Roundhouse does go off there. Alleluia does go into Wimpy again. Zolthus goes immediately back to hit. Bash fails there. Zolthus' damage is on the bear, however. He is returning. He's going as fast as he can. As fast as he can. There's the center roundhouse. There's the Wimpy, it looks like to me. A lot of damage actually coming out from the Druid that particular round, but Zolthus has shown no signs of Wimpy yet. He could be plenty fun. Roundhouse again at center. Alleluia stands up immediately. He is just doing damage to the elemental. If he kills the Charmies this time around, there is nothing to stop him from battering Alleluia down. Does go for the center there. There is the bear's death. Elemental is also in red. Alleluia is, again, triggered by Wimpy. Elemental has no health to defend Alleluia. This does look to be coming to an end. I wouldn't say that he's sweating Musen. I would say more that he made a simple error. It got capitalized on. He took too long to sink. Then he monosanked. Whether not prepped, whether potions got destroyed, which they could have because the Dark Staff is being used, but he did monosank. Roundhouse in the northern wall. Hallelujah cannot possibly have that much health left. It's just, the math does not check out, folks. Elemental is dead. Hallelujah has nothing to protect him anymore. Nothing at all. Getting some great damage off on Zolthus, though. But again, that's a wrap. That is an off-toast by Zolthus on Hallelujah. A lot closer than it looked to be originally. So that was a great fight by both players. Anything to say, Albert? You've been pretty quiet over there.
Blind took way too long to land.
It did. It took about 3/4 of the way through. Very great fight, though. I feel like
if Blind landed 200 mana earlier, I would have won.
So tell me, do you think, was he monosinking because the Dark Staff killed the potions? Did you see that?
I'm not sure why he monosynced, to be honest. He might have just panicked because I didn't really look.
Maybe. I mean, it is quite possible the Dark Staff could have destroyed the potions, but that was a great fight, folks. This is the end of the AGL cast for tonight. I do want to thank Alistair, Shrek, and Scorn tonight for hosting AGL. I really do appreciate it because I'm not going to get to host it for about a week, so it was nice to...
But I will definitely take over.
Yes. Albert, in the interim, will be replacing me as head caster. Okay, folks, we are going to call it a night.
I just want to say something real quick.
Sure.
He used that few scratches when I had 700 HP, and somehow I got him to awful.
Yeah, the cancel and then the screech damage off them.
I mean, you feel like in the long run you just wait it out and don't cancel your blind.
I think that if you have potions, which I saw a couple of escapes on him after the cancellations. It's quite possible
my Dark Staff could have got them.
Yeah, I would have just quaffed the escapes because there's no way you can really do that much damage to him over the course of a few rounds like that happened. So
the other thing is I had to spam heal a lot because I feel like if I just critted, I wouldn't have enough time to use the mana.
Yeah.
You know I mean?
Okay, so
it's done everywhere.
I think his first cancel was probably correct because he quaffed 2 escapes. He had the momentum completely. He canceled and then he went at you. But at the same time, he did not have time to put up all his spells up, which are a lot of the offensive output. The first cancel was good. The others were not. You don't use that as a general strategy. You use it as a situational thing. So he had great insight there on the first cancel, and then after that, he kept with that strat, and it came to hurt him pretty badly. So we are going to call it a night, folks. I want to thank Albert for casting with me. Thanks, buddy. And thanks for letting me know AGL was happening tonight. I would not have been on otherwise.
No problem. I will see you after your vacation.
All right, that sounds good. Good games.
Don't forget to upload it, sir.
I will do so tonight. Have a great holidays, guys.
You have a good holiday too, sir.
All right, I will try my best. And that is a wrap.